Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the broadcast. Welcome back to the broadcast, of course, as we have games running out throughout the entirety of the day. We are, of course, going to see exactly how this is going to go down here. Of course, it is going to be Prosto versus Demise in what is our MDL game for this hour. Of course, we'll be continuing coverage all the way through the day. Coming with Movistar Riders versus Csgo next, and a Vanguard versus Tricked to round out the day. As well as Demise versus Crazy on our secondary channel, which you can definitely go and follow. That is Vortex ENTMT2. But as we do dive right into pistol round, this is going to be Demise starting on that CT side. Pretty common for teams on Dust 2 to be taking that CT side beginning, putting them in the best, or theoretical best position to start winning their rounds. So, Prosto and Dust 2 had the chance to cast them throughout the United Masters League qualifier that they recently just partook in. Again, Dust 2 is a map that Prosto do look pretty solid on. They played against Heretics in one of the games that I saw, and it was a 16-12. Gave them quite the solid victory. They looked actually pretty hot from that game. However, it's going to be starting out well so far. Waylander and Demise, they're going to find themselves a sweet little double to start here. Nickelback on the back of Short swings out wide and finds a trade. All the damage going in the favor of Prosto thus far, and seeming like the pistol round will be easily wrapped up. It's going to be Prosto that land the first already. And so far, so good. Going to be a solid beginning for that Ukrainian side, a side that, of course, have just announced their academy system. We'll be running trials with the overseeing eyes of Zeus and Kane. We'll have them leading the charge there. But either way, Prosto going to be heading out onto that long position. A full eco to be taken by Demise. Actually do get a good couple of kills out of it. But Demise able to round things off with quite the simple finish, all things considered. So, round number 2 for Prosto on the board. Fairly simple, fairly clean. This is where things start to get interesting, though, as Demise will be heading into their first gun round. Again, Immort onto a Scout as well, which is the interesting factor. Again, it's not an AWP, so it's not going to be perfect. Isn't the map new? Not as far as I'm aware of. Oof, Immortal landing the second kill with a round. It's going to be Mini that finds at least the entry to open up with. Nice little refrag by Yekender, but again, he has to push onto this site. Even with so much time left, they've got to be into a bit of a full commitment position here. They've got damage taken on Yekender. It's going to be Waylander that, with the perfect flashbang, able to pop up onto the bomb site. Well, that it spots out a man in towards CT, but do they check Gandalf? That is the question. As that bomb will be planted, Engine in a perfect spot. He'll get the trade back again. It's Yekender that is down into the 1-on-2, and surely he doesn't get out of this alive. A little bit of spam and a beautiful pre-fire that does see Paz finding the shot to finish. A perfect little entry on for the side of Demise. They'll bag themselves a first on the board, and well, thankfully, Prosto in this position, they have got the funds to buy. They don't need to go for an eco just yet. But again, it's quite the limited investment, as we know that these force buy rounds from Prosto are very sporadic. They've got 2 pistols on both Waylander and Demise, so they aren't particularly in the best position when it comes to that economy. The MAC-10, sure, it works out. Those AK-47s we know are the main precipice. And I love the way that Prosto have slowed things down here. No urgency to be heading on to that B-bomb site fairly soon. And again, we do see, with their limited buy round, with their limited arsenal, they're going to try and split for a couple of kills and definitely just play frag-based on this round. And look at Demise. Okay, he's going to line up 2, maybe even the 3rd. He bags it. Bears and Paz will find a double, but not that it matters. The work was already done at that point. And Prosto, they'll find themselves round number 3. Demise, they're struggling early. The T side of Prosto already starting to show dominant signs. And this is a beautiful way to start. With them now down to a full eco again, they're going to be playing a bit of a stack. They're not going to fully commit towards the A-bomb site. They will have at least that second man rotating, but again, we will find them heading their way down onto what seems like a pretty standard A-long take here, especially against pistols. Perfect way to be able to just handle your eco round. B is such a choke point, we know that. So Prosto are not going to approach anything close to a B-bomb site. Lower mid though, Engine does actually find a kill. Thankfully, well, that it capitalizes straight away on the refrag. That will now force Prosto into a bit of a commit push here. Yekender does find at least a first, make it a second. Burning in the molly, but does survive, and as he spots the head of Paz, it's a simple shutdown. Demise there to wrap it up. 4-1, and Prosto, they're off to a perfect beginning. This is the buy round now of Demise that really starts to set them up for success. They've got the AWP onto Immor. They've got the rifles across the board. They have everything necessary to be picking things up here. And still with Demise, their Dust 2 results actually don't look pretty bad. They've got 57% across 7 maps. Immor gonna land the early shot as well. Look at Nickelback though, straight up to short. He'll find a first, maybe even the chance of 2. The flash works out. It blinds Paz temporarily. Sorry, Immor temporarily. Engine does at least get a refrag, maybe a second, and does. Burning in the molly though, sacrificial lamb if you will. It is all down to both Paz and Bears. They rotate to come into short, but they're going to back away from long. They don't want to over-aggress this. Well, that it knows that he can get himself a kill if he can find at least an entry. He probably wins the round on persistence alone. And with so much time left on the clock, this bomb can just rotate as easy as you like. The only way that Beaz gets out of this alive is if he shifts up towards short, checks over the top, and is able to pull back safely. But they've walked into a clear B site here. Surely Demise have got to realize at this point. Well, now of course they definitely will as the bomb goes down. Oh, does spot World Edit though? That's the thing. If World Edit dies, they're in such a good spot right now, and exactly so they are. Waylander managing to dive out of the way, get himself into at least a bit of a safe spot to work with. But again, oh, he'll line up the first. He spots out the second. Paz close on the corner as he dips around left to right, dives up on the box, tries to at least bag himself an advantage. He will get it, secures the round, and Prosto, they will drop a second to Demise. And with at least that first man or last man surviving, if you will, their economy isn't going to be too bad. But the worst part here, if Prosto do win themselves another round, it not only gives them 5, but most likely 6 as well, just in terms of the overall Demise economy being out of the window. They are not going to be safe in the slightest. Interestingly enough, the Vanguard game has finally found its natural end. It was 28-25. for a Vanguard. That was one of the games that we were going to stream, but with the schedule that we have, we did have to keep up with our allocated time slots. Nickelback's a beast. Yeah, he's been playing really good. Ever since coming into pros, though, he's looked like a better player. I think especially now that they've gone for this Russian core, it just makes him much more comfortable. Because, of course, with Nickelback just slotting right in there, it does work out quite nicely. Still, this time, more going to be peeking over towards short. See what sort of advantage he can get with the position that he's got at this point. Well, that it looking like he might have actually spotted him. He does at least force a retreat back, so maybe there was a bit of info transpired there. But again, as they explode out through short, with only Imor in any sort of real defense, this could be a perfect point right now just to flash over the top and get onto this site. But as Imor holds the first, they make it to Waylander, at least able to return for the trade. But again, as he peeks out, Waylander shut down perfectly into the 2-on-4. And that's going to force the save out of Prosto. A much better round from the side of Demise here. They're starting to really take a good hold on that T side. And, oh, even Mini catching out Demise. Well, that it just narrowly surviving as well. But that is round 3 for that CT side. Pros, though, are onto an eco now. The money isn't going to serve them well enough at here. As, of course, they will be going in to their next round. Oh, Waylander, he's going to get caught out. Well, that it doesn't even check the corner. Pretty simple shutdown. Yekender does try and spam back, at least returns a trade. So makes it back to a 4-on-3. But again, not for long, unfortunately. Paz is ready and waiting for it. Knowing that these sneaky boys would get aggressive, and exactly so they do. We're trying to retrieve the AWP, perhaps from inside of the grasps of middle, but not going to be a possibility here, not in the slightest. And even so, as Demise will be heading out onto a B site take. Have to be careful. Bears does get dropped down to 13. Do not want to be putting themselves into a sticky situation right now. Not if you're on this B site. We know how hard it is to retake B, so they have got to hold it very comprehensively with 35 seconds on the clock as Demise will trade out one. Are they going to commit, though? That's the question, because look at Nickelback right now. He gets himself an M4 to work with, although they are aware of the mid push. Ooh, Imor does just look away. Wrong timing there. Does at least get another one, but Paz as aware as ever. And with only 13 seconds left on the clock, Demise essentially has to go and die. He cannot afford to be surviving in this round, and a bomb plant has to be the case here. He will find an extra one. No time to plant, so thankfully we'll save the Krieg with the money he's got. It has to be another eco, though, for Prosto. And Demise, they have a chance to take the lead here on the CT side. If we take a bit of a look at some of the Demise past results, they recently played quite a couple of teams. They played most of them being in the Extremers LAN 2019 qualifier. They won 16-12 twice and a 16-13 against Gamer Legion. Beating Gamer Legion themselves on their current trajectory is also a very solid scoreline to be taken. Weirdly enough as well, that Prosto have made the decision to go for a buy round. With the economy they had in the bank, it was pretty much set to be a full eco with just that solo Krieg, but I guess they want to put weapons around that rifle, see if they can find any success, and with the split they're doing towards B, that might just work out. They'll find a first, make it two, a trade from Engine, though. And all the frags back and forward here. Back into a 1v1. As close as you like. Yekin are going to fake out the bomb plant. Maybe fakes it again. Mini has to drop down if he wants to aggress. But either way, doesn't matter because he takes him out from the heavens. Will run straight back and grab himself that AWP as well. So they are keeping plenty of firepower on their side. And so far, so good for Demise. They've taken the lead early into this game, at least. And with the fact that PRO100 will unfortunately be down onto, again, another buy. But again, it's scrappy. Thankfully, with the bomb plant, they're able to afford the utility along with the rifles. But again, with Waylander only down to a Galil, it's nothing close to special. There's no AWP in here either. So that does just start to add a little bit of uncertainty here for Demise. Oh, the spam from Waylander, though. Gets a little lucky. Sure, Bay has increasing damage. A triple with the MP9. Even with the return from Nickelback, I think they're in a safe spot at the moment. Again, though, another 3 versus 2 retake here on this B bomb site. Waylander will get himself into a pretty average position, but it works out against Mini. At least able to bag a refrag. Nickelback, beautiful flashbang. Do they know where Imor was coming from? That's the question. Well, yes, they do. PRO100. They'll tie things up again. They won't allow Demise too much success. They've been getting a lot of kills on that CT side, even without winning the rounds themselves. But it is gonna work out this time. And with Demise onto a force buy of their own, they can start to look a little bit disheveled here. Oof. And more. Lovely little headshot onto Demise. At least going to be able to find that early frag at around. Nickelback, though. They'll open up that A-long control. At least some early aggression established, but with Demise and the way they're setting up toward this A-bomb site, it should really be unbreakable. On the side of Demise, I don't really see them getting through this as safely as they would like to. But even so, when there's a will, there's a way. As I say that, Yekin defines one, Waylander with a second, a team dink, but doesn't matter because Pazzy's already dead. He will at least find 2 kills, but as they force him out from CT, it is Byers that doesn't fall. Or does fall. PRO100 able to make it into round number 6. They will bankrupt. They will break Demise. Force them down onto another eco. And already really looking like there's enough rounds secured in this first half to be safe. To be comfortable. So they are not stressed in the slightest. Even 7 rounds to finish really is a solid point to grab. Yet again, though, with PRO100 just looking like they want to be the team that harnesses a first half lead. Even if they do win with minimum rounds in that 8 to 7 position, they would still be comfortable enough to switch into CT side. For anybody that watched the Vanguard game on Dust 2. We know that CIS teams love a good overtime. Oof, nice little spam by World that it catches Paz before the smoke blooms fully. Waylander finds himself the double, even gets challenged by the third, eventually will fall and a rifle to be dropped. So at least give themselves a little bit of wiggle room to work with. But now, of course, with the round already gone, it is all about the damage from Demise. And as they get none of it, unfortunately, only a couple of frags here and there, we'll see Prosto at least comfortably settling into this first half. An AWP onto Immor. It is glass cannon, though, so it is essentially a last-ditch effort to bag this sniper rifle. Of course, our next game in our broadcast is going to be Movistar Riders versus Csgo, but this one is still taking course here. Yekender will find himself the double. Oh, the shot from World that it works out brilliantly. Both Engine and Beyaz into that lower CT position. Engine at least guarantees an AWP, but as they've already walked out onto the B bomb site, they have spotted out Beyaz with the FAMAS in hand, and Yekender somehow, with 2 points of health, is still dropping kills. Beyaz to get closed down eventually, and with the round already done, it doesn't make a difference. A 3K from Yekender, though, a solid performance in that round. And once again, Demise, they're down to the eco, looking like 9 is not going to escape them right now. And especially with how good that Prosto are looking at the moment. Ooh, a lovely little flashbang. Keeps Mini at least with his back turned to allow World Edit the swing. As easy as that, really. Head spotted. They realize there might be a second man on short as well. They do realize they'll spot him, meaning they can take full long control. A little bit of a dink onto Yekender, again taking the brunt of the damage in this round, but unfortunately not going to make that much of a difference. It is down to only Paz. Does have Kevlar with the Deagle, but as he's already spotted out inside of mid, down to 18 and a fairly simple finish. 9-5. Coming into the final round of the first half, this is where things can get juicy. Finally, Immor onto a safe AWP buy with the Kevlar. Oh, but look at this. 2 AWPs and 2 auto snipers. Oh, you love to see it. Waylander. Oh my gosh, he's going to take down Paz with an insta headshot. You just hate to see it. And well, this time, the damage might just be too much. Nickelback even going to scope down towards lower mid as well. See if he can find any further action. But not going to make a difference. With 2 players out toward that B bomb site, at least they have a competent crossfire. If they work this out, they get into a great spot. A lineup. But not going to work out this time. Demise catches Mini on the rotate. And down to a 4-on-2. It seems like Prosto, they've upped the ante. They've stepped the gas down on the pedal. And it's already seeming to work out brilliantly for them. Still, as they're down into that 4-on-2. Immor close on the corner. He only legs Demise. They've spotted out Engine as well, so they know exactly where he is. Flash over the top to make sure that he's going to be blind on the cross. A third flash as well that keeps him literally seeing absolutely nothing. And well, that is going to give Demise a 10-5 defeat in that first half. Essentially, Prosto win pistol round. They have a massive chance at closing out the series. they would guarantee themselves being in the best spot possible. And well, here we go. Second half about to get right underway. As we'll be going into that CT side for Prosto. And of course, don't forget to stick with us with the broadcast that we've got today. We have plenty of matches coming up. Movistar Riders versus Csgo being our next one. The Spaniards versus the Poles. It's going to be on Inferno as well. Quite the map for Movistar Riders. Csgo have pulled out some very convincing upsets though, and that's what Demise are looking to do in this round. Prosto definitely aware of the cross toward A-Long. They're going to give up the bomb site, but even so, Engine. His little lurking legs pay off dividends. Engine finds a double. We do at least trade back 2, make it a 3rd. Mini able to at least fend off for now, but it's back to a 2-on-2, and Mini tapping away. Well, then it has to try and aggress up towards short, see what he can find. And as they line up for him, as they'll take out one, they know where Mini is now. He gets finished by Nickelback there, who lands himself a 3k to close out the round. And well, that is 11-5. That sees Prosto winning pistol. Sees them transpiring surely into round 12. If Demise force here as well, they may even have a chance to win. But again, not looking too good in the slightest. But as expected, really, Demise have gone for the force buy. They can guarantee the 3 AKs. The 2 players without Kevlar will just take up Deagles, so they actually do put themselves into a really good spot. Would not be surprised if they won a round like this. Prosto now are aware, though, that Demise do have this sort of buy round. And look at him more. He's so close in the smoke. He's playing that risky game at this point. You do not want to be swinging into MP9s at that sort of range. Yekender spotting out a player on short as well. Does back away comprehensively. Do not want to be facing, again, these weapons. They're very, very limited. 2 rifles only on Prosto compared to the 3 of Demise. And still, a good little Molotov, actually, that does slow down at least the aggressiveness of Demise themselves. But Demise, it's now his time to shine, and will shine he does. Takes out one, but with the damage already conceived, do they spot out Yekender? The grenade works out brilliantly. And somehow they're able to survive. Mini on the flank, though, well, they're not aware, and bomb site lost. With 40 seconds on the clock, they'll be able to bag the plant. The 2 rifles for the T side working out in abundance. They'll both try and retake from inside of short here. They've got a smoke and 2 flashes. Nickelback. Oh, challenges, but not challenged enough here. Waylander down to the 1-on-2. Will take it into a 1v1, and with time still left on the clock, Mini has to play the bait, and he does well enough. With no defuse kit, does he have a chance? I don't think he does. And there it is, 11-6. Demise at least bag themselves around. They'll break Prosto in the process. So will find themselves surely with round number 7, maybe even round number 8. If Prosto do not win this round, Demise can massively start to pull this back. And look at the damage it's already done. Oh, Demise! Oh, Demise! If he gets a reload in, he might survive for maybe one more, but no. Thankfully, not going to make a difference. Paz has the flank covered off as well, so perfect. They will be able to at least keep them at bay for now. Nickelback onto the rotate, gonna play towards long instead. Yekender is hunting, he knows at least of Paz's position. Checks the corner, but again, the snap is worth it. Sits so carefully. And with 1:05 left on the clock, it is all on to Demise. They've got to master this round. A smoke over the top. We'll be blocking off short early, but again, more. Oh, the tag as well. Nickelback going absolutely insane. And I think Prosto, they win this round off of that situation alone. Bear's tagged down to 16. All it takes is Yekender to swing, and of course he does. 12th round on the board for Prosto, and Demise broken yet again. It's a force from them, and if they lose it, it's 14-6. Seriously, Nickelback just orchestrating the entire round there for Prosto. Pretty much just guarantees the safety of Prosto here. And Nickelback, as he already finds the first, a snap from Yekender to take out the second, make it even a third as well. His damage worth the output that he gets. And even so, with a 4-on-2 to challenge. Again, Worlded, I believe, just spotted the player out towards short. Sees him again for the second time. We'll draft in Demise for a bit of support. Engine just making his position known as well. Trying to hit one of those Deagle headshots, but this time not a success. And with Engine last alive, it's a simple finish. 13-6, and Prosto, with an eco round to come for Demise, this should be round number 14. Surely they've got to play a faster play toward the B bomb site here, Demise. Look at their spawn right now. They've got every single man over toward that B side. So it's got to be a full commit, surely. Maybe not, though. Fair enough. I thought they would have just straight rushed that B bomb site and seen what they could grab, but apparently not this time. They're going to be straight out long instead, and with World Edit already guaranteeing one, and with Demise making the second, it is as easy as you like. A simple finish for the boys from Prosto. 14-6, and pretty much one last buy round for Demise. If they lose it, they have no money left whatsoever. They'll be stranded for what would be round number 22. And there we go. No time like the present to wrap this one up here, Prosto. With no AWP on the CT side, and World Edit, of course, going to be buying into his sniper. They put themselves into such a good position right now. With only 2 rounds left to take victory here in this game. That is exactly what they're going to be looking for, and look at the setup of Prosto as well, with 4 players out to A long early. I love it. Just going to be trying to concoct this setup that really stumps Demise. This time, not going to be a factor. But with 1:15 left on the clock, 3 players inside of mid for Demise. Looking like they either want to go mid to B split here or straight through short, and it seems like it will be the second. Ooh, a little tag by Nickelback drops Bears down to 33. And now down to 14 with the nade that lands at his feet. Demise have to start moving right now. World Edit could be at least challenged. Ooh, a little dink, though. Not really going to matter when you're against an AWP. That damage has to be done already. And as they will aggress up towards short, World Edit with a simple angle to play with. Gets himself onto Car as well. Spots out Immo. That's bomb dropped and they all fall apart. Paz at least able to find a double, though. Keeps his team alive in this round. But traded by Demise. Down to a 1 versus 3. And even gets a tag there, Waylander. Just trying to run around this smoke. See if they can find it, but evidently not. 15-6. So far, so good. Demise, look at their buy round. They've got the rifles, but not a lot else. And this is all it takes. Seeming like our Movistar coverage is going to start on time for sure. Ooh, Beaz already taking significant damage. The Molotov's just bouncing everywhere. The flash is perfect. The spray, even better. World Edit guarantees Paz's death as well. And just into that 3-on-2. They have car control from World Edit. So there's no one going to be making it up short at this point. Ooh, does miss the shot, though. Only takes 2 HP of damage, and well, it is all down to him all. Last man standing. And unfortunately, as he makes his way into CT, that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be a wrap on this one. A very, very simple 16-6 for Prosto that guarantees their survival here in Mountain Dew League. But with that being said, that is going to end my little section here on this broadcast. It's going to be Lingon that takes over for your next 2 best of 1s.